Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So this is part 2, my friends, on emotional eating, what you should know from an expert who majored in it. Anyway, this is a really good article from healthline.com. I always appreciate Healthline because it has a summary after each part. So if you're not a reader, you can just kick through the summaries, and ultimately it has a bottom line. And I'm a bottom line kind of girl. So I will include it in the description of the video, of course. I started this yesterday, but not from the beginning. So here we go. It indicates, do you find yourself racing to the pantry when you're feeling down or otherwise upset? Finding comfort in food is common, and it's part of a practice called emotional eating. Now, let's be fair. Even if you're excited about something, you may choose food, right? People who emotionally eat reach for food several times a week or more to oppress and soothe negative feelings. They may even feel guilt or shame after eating this way, leading to a cycle of excess eating and associated issues like weight gain. Yeah, I know if you go up to the search and you put in emotional eating, you'll find that I have several videos that I've already made on this. If you look at, I think I even have things in there that are called emotional hunger or, versus true hunger. So there's just a lot of them in there because this has been an ongoing thing for me forever. Forever. Food was my drug of choice. I tried other drugs, I assure you, but the safest one was food. And of course, it turned on me, as any addiction does, right? So it may serve you for a moment, but ultimately it turns on you. And so I've been really blessed that I've still managed to outrun a lot of ailments, and through eating high carb, low fat, raw vegan, I have reversed several ailments that came as a result of my obesity. So I rejoice to no end for that. But I need to revisit this because I just went through this stint, literally of a few months, of just not being able to keep my food in order. I got into Pandora's box. I started doing all the mind tricks and justifying a little here, a little there. And in retrospect, it was way more than a little. And I am literally wearing it. And very uncomfortable, I might add. But I refuse to get bigger clothes. I just can't do it. All right. So I'm going to just look awkward and stuck like I don't even know. Just think of something very tight with a lot of lumps, okay? And pants that are a little too short. Not because I got taller, but because when they're tighter, they just can't hang as long, right? But it's coming. It's coming back. All right. So anyway, what causes someone to eat because of their emotions? Like they could even pinpoint all the reasons. But anything from work stress to financial worries, health issues to relationship struggles may be the root cause of your emotional eating. It's an issue that affects both sexes. We don't talk about men that often, who have disordered eating or, struggle with the emotional eating. But if you people watch in any mall or store, you'll see that it's equally true. According to the different studies, emotional eating is more common with women than men. I don't know if it's more common or if women are just more inclined to talk about it or admit it. Why food? Negative emotions may lead to a feeling of emptiness or an emotional void. Food is believed to be a way to fill the void, like physically fill the void, and create a false feeling of fullness or temporary wholeness. But like I said yesterday, when you're eating food that's void of any nutrition and doesn't even have fiber, there is no sensation of full. And even if there is for a moment, it's only a moment, right? When I eat right, when I eat plant-based, vegan, it lasts for hours. I have to remind myself to eat. When I eat empty junk, I'm starving the entire time. My body's just seeking any nutrition it can get. All right. Other factors may be retreating from social support during times of emotional need, not engaging in activities that might otherwise relieve stress, sadness, and so on. not understanding the difference between physical and emotional hunger, using negative self-talking that's related to binging episodes. This can create a cycle of emotional eating, and changing cortisol levels in response to stress, leading to cravings. My cravings are always mental. Like, my body just honestly doesn't crave anything. It's always starts in the mind. I start obsessing about whatever it is, and before I know it, I'm acting on it. All right, let's keep going. So what people want to know most, how do you stop emotional eating? I'm glad you asked. Emotional hunger isn't easily quelled by eating. While filling up may work in the moment, eating because of negative emotions often leaves people feeling more upset than before. This cycle typically doesn't end until a person addresses emotional needs head on. So much like alcohol, people think it's so much fun and, oh God, I'm going to feel so much better. It's a depressant. So when they finally come down, they really come down. And it's the same thing with food. So basically, you have to find other ways to cope, right? I've seen a lot of people when they stop smoking, which is such an oral, sensation to meet someone's needs, that they change it to putting in food or chewing gum or eating sunflower seeds or something, but it's still oral. They're still like trying to appease that same need or sensation. And it's the same thing, coming from compulsive overeating and eating a truckload of food, enough for a small country, I haven't necessarily changed that. I've changed it in the sense that it's no longer 3,500 calories or up to 10,000 calories. And I averaged about 6,400 calories in a day. Okay, all in a day. Again, because nothing was satiating, nothing was meeting my needs, so I just kept eating. Now it's more like 1,600 calories, but a quantity is still there. I didn't reduce quantity. I replaced it for, fruit and vegetables, of which you can have way more per pound. And it still allows me to eat a great amount of food, but within my realm, within my calorie window. So this says find other ways that you need to cope. 1 second. Help. Technical difficulty. 1 moment, please. 911, what's your emergency? I'm glad you asked. I'm having technical difficulties. Okay, discovering another way to deal with negative emotion is often the first step to overcoming emotional eating. This can mean writing in a journal, which I have right here, reading a book, or finding a few minutes to otherwise relax and decompress from the day. It takes time to shift your mindset from reaching for food or engaging in other forms of stress relief. So experiment with a variety of activities to find out what works for you. Number 1, move your body. And I've been saying that when I am physically engaged, like lifting 50 pounds of feed, mucking, hundreds of pounds of muck in our horse stalls, lining pipe with my husband, there's such a release and such a fulfillment in it. So it says move your body. Another one, of course, rebounding, which is just amazing anyway for the lymphatic system. But getting that going, you would think that it's a distraction for a moment. It's so much more than that. Every cell in the body cries out in union. We're getting our needs met. So it could be something as quick as a walk around the block, a quick yoga routine, 15 minutes on the rebounder, 5 minutes on the rebounder, whatever it is. I'm not going to read all of this because I'm hoping you'll look at the article. Try meditation. And that varies per person. YouTube has a bunch of great free guides to meditation. You can look up guided meditation for anxiety and stress on YouTube. They have great things like that. I use prayer, which I'm sure for some is a form of meditation. My good friend Tammy Raw on every health platform uses Thinkitation, where she's like in the moment, focusing on the things that need to be done. So she calls it Thinkitation, which I just love. So I'm into prayer. Others are into meditation. Keep a food diary, an authentic food diary. They also have apps like MyFitnessPal. They'll have one called My Plate. All of those which encourage people to write it down. And it says also, if you choose to seek medical help about your eating habits, your food diary is a useful tool to share with your doctor, presuming, of course, you've been honest with it, right? Eating a healthy diet, of course. Make sure you get enough nutrients to fuel your body, because it's difficult to distinguish between true and emotional hunger if you do not eat properly to begin with. Like, that's the beginning. Again, still having trouble? Start with, of course, fruit. Add greens. Then go on to the healthy fats. And, that's a great start right there. Take common offenders out of your pantry. What your eyes see, what your eyes focus on is manifested. Get that stuff out of there. Me, and again, this is referencing Tanny Raw, but she has that Tanny Raw reset, and you can go up to search and say Tanny Raw reset. It'll tell you all about it. But one of the things she has the resetters do is go in and arrange that kitchen in a way that works for them. And so I did not participate in this reset, but I took the time and I went in and absolutely arranged my cupboards, got all of my focus on all of the foods that are mine, and made sure that the things that are not mine, that belong to other family members, are not something I will readily come upon. And it's just a great thing. So get the offenses out of your cupboard. Maybe talk to the family member and just say, is there any way you can have a dessert outside of the home? Is there any way you can drink that drink outside of the home? You're not telling them to stop. You're just saying, can you honor me a moment and, just enjoy that in the moment and not bring it home? Yeah, because the other day, seriously, my husband brought home a trigger food for me, and I wasn't even home when he had it. And he didn't even mention it either. And I was cleaning the kitchen and I got to the trash, and all of a sudden I saw it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was all, I'm clean, I don't need to, la la la. I went back to the trash 5 times. I finally opened the box only to find that much of it was still in there. And I had the grace to put it down the disposal. And, to thank God to no end and to thank myself. But that was a trigger for me, and it was a slippery slope right there. And I had to have that conversation and say, you know what, come on. He threw it away before I even got home and didn't mention it. That is not on him at all. But the things that are just like overtly in the cupboard, in my face, in the fridge, in the whatever, those things I will talk about. Then it says, pay attention to volume. If you're going to eat something that may not be on your plan or is in the outer realm of your plan, put a serving of it in a container to eat and put the rest away. Part of the problem is taking that whole thing and mindlessly going for it, So if you're going to choose that, choose and even weigh what's a proper amount. Now, for me, I know there's certain things that I can't even pretend. I can't even pretend that I can go there. No. Also seek support. And I appreciate, they do mention Overeaters Anonymous in here. It's an organization that addresses overeating from emotional eating, compulsive overeating, and other eating disorders, meaning even people who forget to eat. When they're stressed out, they get so engaged in what they're doing that they don't get enough calories. It's anything that has to do with the manipulation or disordering of food. So yeah, Overeaters Anonymous, I'm all in. They also have another thing where it says, find other groups in your area by searching on social sites. I guess there's a place called Meetup. Yeah. Careful with that, but there's a thing called Meetup where you can find people with common interests in Meetup. Banish distractions. People say this again and again. My husband loves to eat in front of the TV. I humbly try and sit at the side at my table, and he's like, come on in, what are you doing? Why are you eating over there? And I'm like, no, it's okay, babe. I'm in it. I'm just trying to get, I'm okay. Well, come on. TV's going every second. I'm like, I'm trying to let myself know that I ate. So it says you may find yourself eating in front of the television, the computer, or some other distraction. Try switching off the tube, putting down your phone, getting away from the computer. By focusing on your food, the bites you take, the level of hunger, you may discover that you're eating emotionally. Some even find it helpful to focus on chewing 10 to 30 times before swallowing. Now, I've mentioned that I still have a little bit of a problem. I decide what my food's going to be, and I make that big food, and then I think I have to eat it all. And it's interesting. I've been doing this affirmation. It's, I release the need for excess weight. I eat plants. I am compulsion and disease free. My body is strong and lean. I release the need for excess weight. I eat plants. I am compulsion and disease free. My body is strong and lean. So I've been affirming that whenever I can, on the way to work, walking the track with the kids at PE, whatever. And what I've noticed is recently, I'm not finishing my whole salad. I'm not finishing all my stuff. But the beauty of whole food, plant-based vegan and raw vegan is that you can take your salad and pour it into your carafe to make your smoothie in the morning. You know, you can take, like, every single thing that I have can be conformed into something else. It can become a soup. It can become a dressing. It can become everything else. So it's been so wonderful. I've been noticing, wait, I am done. What? You've never been done. I know, but I'm done. And I'm not wasting it. And I'm really good. I give so much stuff to my pig. I give so many scraps to my pig. But no, I've got great food for my pig. But those salads and things, I am putting right into the container for the smoothie. And I'm thrilled to do it. So yeah, just being aware, being present really matters. Do these things, and it gives your mind time to catch up with your stomach. Like when people mow their food, and then they're like, I'm still hungry. And even my father used to always say, wait 20 minutes. If in 20 minutes you're genuinely still hungry, well, you can see what your next option is. But if not, you know, you'll probably be fine. The other thing is, after that 20-minute rule, it's to make sure that you don't choose more of the same thing, right? I mean, yeah, you can have another snack or something, but there's many snacks that are calorie free, and you know, you may just need a teeny bit more. So it's not continuing with the same food. That variety really matters. Also, work on positive self-talk. They ain't playing. I will tell you, every time things get out of control in my classroom, meaning they're just not going in the direction I want, or I realize I'm not as organized as I thought I was, I immediately start badgering myself. The negative self-talk just comes in. You're such a bloat. You're such a loser. I can't believe you're doing that. Like, what happened? You shoulda. I'm shitting on myself. I've been working really hard as that starts to turn it around. So instead of coming down hard, try learning from your setback. Use it as an opportunity to plan your future. I love it, and it's so important. Be sure to reward yourself with self-care, such as taking a bath, going for a leisurely walk, and so on, when you do something successful. And like me, I bought some more earrings. Look at little apples, little pink apples. They just make me happy. I'm a girl who loves all that teacher theme of apples. It just makes me so happy. All right, so in summary, food may help ease emotions initially, but addressing the feelings behind the hunger is important in the long term. Work to find alternative ways to deal with stress, like exercise, peer support, trying to practice mindful eating habits. And then it goes on to talk about, if you go to see your doctor, what information you can share with your doctor. Anyway, it's a really good one. I'll put it in the description of this video. I hope it helped you a little bit. Let's go ahead and go back. As always, I'd love to hear, what part you were struck by. So yesterday, we talked about the difference between physical hunger and emotional hunger. And then today is, how do you actually stop it? If you're going to find other ways to cope, you have to move your body. Try meditation, thinkitation, prayer. You should start a food diary that's authentic. You need to eat a healthier diet by far. Take common offenders out of your pantry and out of your view. And then pay attention to the volume. Like, take some time to see, can you just take a portion and put the rest of it away? Seek support. Again, Overeaters Anonymous is phenomenal. Banish distractions. Turn off that TV, turn off that computer, turn off that phone, and allow time for your stomach, your mind to catch up with your stomach. That 20-minute window. And finally, work on positive self-talk. All right, my friends, like if you'd like to join us, if you haven't, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. And until we talk again, best of all, know that life is a process. This is all daily. You're amazing for even going for it. And therefore, you're blessed.